Hi, how you doing? So today's live is what to do if either or both twin flames are married. Now, this is quite a big topic. You'll be surprised about the amount of twin flames that either meet after they are married, or when one of them's married or the other is, or that they get married in separation, one or the other. It's quite a big thing. And I don't have personal experience of that because thankfully me and my twin were both single, but a lot of people actually do. And I did a post was it last week? I think it was, which was why twin flames are, why you meet your twin flame if you're married. So if you haven't watched that, read that, read it. It explains the spiritual reasons why they come in. We'll delve into it a little bit today. And then today's post was what to do if your twin flame is married, right? And then we'll do some other stuff as well to go deeper into it. So we'll do all questions at the end. But how are you doing? Last night was it's tonight actually. I think tonight is the blood moon. It's the time when anything that you haven't resolved is coming up to the surface. September is going to be quite a tough time actually. There's lots of eclipses and astrological things going on. And if you know me for a while, you'll know that I usually go through things before the collective, okay? So I was going through stuff about 2 weeks, for 2 weeks, wasn't I? What's the point of doing this? And why am I, there's no twin here. What's the purpose of working so hard? Blah, blah, blah. Thankfully, I'm out of that now. And this week's been amazing and beautiful. I've been working really, really hard as always. I've done 6 months worth of blog posts. So that's 180 blog posts. I've got all my videos done for the Ascension series, and the new series, New Earth, will be coming out in November, I think. And I'm writing my book. So I'm doing loads of things, clients, coaching, all that stuff going on. So how is it for you? Because today or tonight, the divine feminines will be hit by the blood moon, and tomorrow the masculines. So we'll delve into that. And then if you are married, or your twin flame's married, or someone's going to get married out of either of you, or something's going on, write some stuff in the comments and we can discuss. Because with the posts I've written before, sometimes people don't read the post properly, but it's always the question is, what shall I do, Manny? What do I do? So we're going to delve into that, and some of the things might trigger you. So I'll give you a warning beforehand, okay? And just try to take it in and then react later, okay? So tonight we're going to delve straight into the toughest realities when one or both of you are married. It's hard, right? Because yeah, if they have a soulmate or a karmic as a boyfriend, girlfriend, it's different. But when they're married, it seems more stronger or more cemented, more embedded, right? Even though it's not. And there's a reason behind all of it. And we'll delve into it. They actually, the partner, the spouse, either yours or your twin flames, is not the enemy. They're actually helping with the union. And if you remember, if you followed me for a while, my twin in the beginning stages went back with his ex for a little bit, like friends and sleeping around and using his money, whatever they were doing, getting free holidays and whatever my twin was getting out of that situation and the drugs. But I had a dream about the ex, and the ex was in the dream, and the ex was like, I'm not the enemy here. I'm here to help you two get into union. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, me and my twin were put into a sort of like wooden cabin in the woods. And then the roof opened and we had a spaceship like beam us up, Scotty. So ascend, right? So basically, if you delve deep into it, you'll realize that they're not the enemy. Now, if your twin is with someone else, the key thing is also not to like obsess over this other person, not to keep looking at their social media or, if you can, because otherwise you keep putting the energy on that person. And wherever your energy goes, that's where things flow, okay? Right, so we're going to look at whether both or one of you are married and what to do. Now, we know it shakes you to the core, right? Now, say, for example, you're married. Okay, you're married and you meet your twin flame. What happens? So you're married, you're stable, it's good, hopefully. Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes you don't know it's good and you're dealing with a narcissist, and then all of a sudden the twin awakens that realization. But anyway, you've built a stable life, you're happy, maybe you've got kids, and then all of a sudden this twin flame shows up into your life like lightning. It's undeniable, unexplainable, unstoppable, it's electric. It's amazing. But you normally don't have attraction for others. So like, why is this happening? Yes, there's other occasions where there's other differences as well, like age and whatever else. There's so many different things that can happen. But here we're just talking about the one factor, which is the marriage. And all of a sudden you're in a storm. You're thinking, what shall I do? Why would the universe do this? What am I supposed to do? Like, why now? So the post I did last week, I think it explained that, right? So I like really urge you to watch it. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you could see the posts on Instagram and also TikTok. And I also have loads of playlists on TikTok and YouTube as well. All right. So basically, we're going to break it down. No fluff, no fantasy, just the truth, soul clarity. So we're going to look at today why they show up when you're married. What is the role, if they are married, of their spouse or even your spouse? What you should and shouldn't do about it. Because a lot of people, that's the main thing. People get really like, oh, what shall I do? I'm so confused. And you know what? When you're in the soul, when you're in the ego deaths and the breakdown of your reality, you're in fear and you cannot think straight. And we've all been there. So you don't even read properly, like the posts I write, or you don't even listen. You're unable to. So you're just panicked and frantic. What should I do? What am I doing? The main thing to do is get into your peace. And then from there, allow things to work out. We'll delve into it. And then how you can use the situation to accelerate your ascension. Now, there might be some things there that trigger you. So we'll talk about that. So first of all, why do they appear when you are married or they're married or whatever's going on? So let's cut to it. So meeting a twin flame when you or they are married, it does feel like a betrayal. Maybe it can feel like cheating, either on your partner or them. But it's not done for cruelty. Everything in the universe is divine precision. There's a reason for everything. It's all mapped out, soul contracted. There's not one mistake at all. Not a leaf is out of place. It's perfectly designed as it should. And what's going to happen is also perfectly designed. So you must allow and surrender and trust to get yourself in the highest timeline to let things work out. And when you are pushed by the divine with inspired action, to take action on that. Because some of you stay stuck in the bad relationships and the karmics and being with people who are terrible to you. So, okay. And some of you leave, which is good. If it's not meant for you, some of you leave. And some of you have anticipation. If I leave my soulmate who's kind of good for my twin flame who's kind of not stable, am I just giving it all away for nothing and become a single parent or single person? Like, it's a risk. It's a big risk. But that's where the universe is asking you to have that big trust. That big faith, right? Okay. So the universe is not concerned with papers, contracts, rings, or whatever 3D stuff is. It doesn't really care about that, to be honest. Its only concern is about your soul's expansion. So soulmates and karmic partners, yes, they give us lessons about love and healing and responsibility. And a soulmate is very cushy. Yes, they can trigger you a little bit. Yes, you can get a little bit of this and that. Not the same as a twin flame, though. Twin flame is a whole soul reboot, right? Twin flames are here to break open your illusions and take you to transformation. It's what I liken to a complete soul transformation. You're getting rid of all the karma and the trauma from lifetimes. It's huge work, huge, massive. So a twin flame usually arrives when there's a turning point. It's all divinely orchestrated and perfect, okay? Because sometimes we can be thinking, why didn't they come when I was 18 or 22? And it's just not meant to be. So it could be that your marriage has come to a point that it was supposed to teach you and you're done with it, really. It's done. The lessons are done. And maybe you're just not growing and you're hiding from that. But anyway, it's not random. It's your higher self telling you to wake up, okay? And it's a big wake up. We know twin flames are huge, okay? So it doesn't mean your marriage was meaningless or you should leave it. You don't have to. Some people decide to stay and that's okay. We don't have judgment here. I mean, you'll still think about your twin, but that's okay. But marriage is sacred, and your spouse does have a role. Now, some would say that your twin flame is your spouse by God, right? God has assigned them as your spouse, really. But in the 3D, for some reason, you've contracted with this person. Maybe you've had many lifetimes with them. And some people tell their spouses about their twin flame and their spouses are okay. Sometimes the spouse will get jealous and insecure and become more controlling and toxic if that was what they were already. But if the spouse is a soulmate, sometimes they can become even more loving and kind, sometimes competitive and make the relationship better for you too. So many things can happen and we don't judge. Everyone has their own unique path, okay? So the twin flame is your mirror. It's your own soul. And they come to remind you who you are and to allow you to let go of all the stuff that you're not. So with regards to soul agreements and karmic contracts, okay, so if you are married or they're married or whatever's going on. So before this lifetime, we have decided who we're going to marry, whether you will marry soulmates or karmic partners who help you grow, heal, or clear patterns. And sometimes with karmics, they'll put you in even more rubbish and dump you in the depths of it. But there's a reason for it, to break you open to go up as well, right? To say enough's enough. But because without those lessons, you might not be ready for your twin flame. So that's where the whole thing about this false twin flame and catalyst and all that stuff comes about too, right? Because there's the belief that all that came before is gearing you up to your twin, testing your unconditional love. So the twin flame journey, it's not about romance, you know, that's the soulmate journey. Yes, there will be elements of romance and there's divine love for sure, but that's a given, right? There shouldn't be any doubts or questions whether the DM loves you or whatever. Of course they do. And you should know that. And if you're still in that loop, then you need to get that checked out, your system. But the twin flame journey is about spiritual mastery, actually. It's about becoming an ascended master, which we have talked about a lot in the Ascension series. There's a different purpose. It's a tool for ascension, right? It's a tool. And you can transcend the tool, and we've talked about that too. It's up to you. But at the end of the day, it's a very different relationship, you know. And if you don't know the difference between karmic, twin flame, and soulmate, check out my playlist on YouTube and TikTok, where I have around 3,000 videos from the twin flame series, okay, which talk about that. So meeting a twin flame, it's a trigger for awakening, yeah. It's to serve as the spark that awakens both of you to the higher truth, even if union isn't possible in this lifetime, because it may not be, you know, and you may get triggered for that. But for some people, this lifetime is not for union, right? It's just to meet your twin. It is a catalyst for your awakening, and you may have to come back in another lifetime to finish it. It all depends on you as well, because you do have that element of free will, but everything is divinely contracted, soul contracted before you come here. So, you know, some people have that belief that, oh, you wouldn't meet your twin if it wasn't going to be union. You know what? Again, that is coming from the mind, and it's the ego. It is what it is, and you must accept it. It's like beggars cannot be choosers, and we're unfortunately on this journey, we are like beggars, and we must be humble. So the journey is about spiritual mastery. The universe places twin flames in separate marriages to test you if the love can remain pure without possession or interference, because that's what it's got to be. And when you're with them, with the unconditional love, especially if you get into union, there cannot be any of those going into each other's gardens, you know, weeding each other's gardens. You have to let them weed their own garden. And it is difficult because the conscious mind, the ego, cannot comprehend why they would be with another person, or why this would be happening, or why do we have to have karmics or different connections in the way. But that's not for you to consciously think. And some people I know will use the law of attraction or law of assumption. And I've said in the past, you cannot manifest yourself because you already are them. You are one. But on a deeper level, the assumption stuff, it's using the logical, egoic mind to work through things that are beyond your comprehension. It is soul level. It is divinely orchestrated and contracted. It is beyond your comprehension of what you, in your awareness, even if you have spiritual abilities, will not know the magnitude of the eons of lifetimes that your soul has gone through with torture, abuse, being an abuser, being a colonizer, the ancestral karmic patterning that you are here to break, the unconscious programming that's still stuck in you from lifetimes on many different universes, planets, and galaxies and dimensions and realities, and what you're actually clearing for humanity or the universe. Your little mind cannot comprehend what is going on. It's a lot. So much. You know, and that's when people are like, oh, I can't understand why he'd be with that girl or married to her. Doesn't even. You just don't know what he's working on, or what you are working on, what's going on. You just don't know. So you have to learn to surrender. Okay? So there's this whole thing about, again, divine timing and human timing, because we think days, months, and years in time, right? But the soul thinks in lifetimes. And I have done hypnotherapy, regression, various things. And you'd speak with ascended masters and beings, and I've done that, and I've done lives about that and talked about it. And they'll be like, yeah, it's going to be in a few months, you're going to be in union. But their concept of time is completely different to ours and how it plays out. Okay. So you may have met your twin in marriage. So the love matures like wine, slow, patient, and enduring. So a lot of people who do meet when they're married, and I've done a post about this on Instagram and TikTok, are actually monadic twin flames. So for them, the journey is slow. They're not catalyzed so quickly usually, and it takes a long time because that's how they decided. And your conscious mind might be like, oh, it's excruciating and it's difficult. I mean, going through it at fast speed like I did is hardly, a wonderful ride. However, better the devil you know. You don't know why your soul chose the way it chose. Even if you're like really connected with the spiritual realm, well, maybe you'll be able to figure it out. But you got to trust it's working on multiple different perspectives and dimensions. The way the journey is working, it's very complex. All right. So what is the role of this spouse, either for you or them? So this is where lots of people get stuck, blaming and shaming and resenting either the twin spouse or your own, especially if you're not happy. But they're not the villain. Like I said with the dream with my twin's ex, they're actually helping you. So, because if you think about it, if your twin is with someone else, right, they could walk away if they wanted to. But what is stopping them? It's their own fear, their conditioning, and the lessons that their soul must learn. The spouse is that environment where it works out. So we always talk about there's situations where there is a karmic situation, but that does not have to be just the person. In this case, it is a person, right? But it could be work. It could be the addictions. It could be all the other things. Many different things and factors can play in the distractions. The spouse, you could say, is a distraction, but it's a softer landing page for them to learn. All right, so let's talk about the different truths, 5 truths about a soul's role in the journey, right? So the number 1 is they're not the villain. So you have to really learn to let that go. They are your best friend. Your triggers are your best friend and everything that's working out. And your twin's soulmate will be yours and your soulmate will be theirs. They're coming to help. The journey's difficult, it's treacherous, it's a long, lonely road. They are the companions to soften the journey, you could say. So it's easy to resent and blame the spouse. If your twin flame really wanted to leave, nothing would stop them actually. And there may come a time when they do, right? But it just comes from their own psyche and their own fears, because the spouse is not necessarily holding them hostage, right? It's part of a soul contract. Unless they've locked them up in a dungeon, I don't think they're holding them to hostage. They could use their manipulation tactics if they're karmics and all that kind of stuff, but still we have free will. Still we have the ability to walk out. Right, number 2 is the ongoing presence. So you may have to contend with this person, either in your life or their life, for years. You might do. And I know people like that. So rather than resisting it, accept it, lean into it, because it will stretch you out spiritually and emotionally. And whatever you resist will persist. Whatever you resist will persist. It's about, like what I see on the journey for a lot of people where they have these mishaps, is they don't accept. Acceptance is actually surrender, accepting the situation as is. And also accepting your own flaws and your own darkness and your own insecurities and your own shadows. A lot of people will just be like, oh, I'm perfect, and not accept that they have faults too. So that's important. And then number 3 is the lost puppy phase. Sometimes your twin will approach you, come in and out, right? Weave, and you'll feel a spark, and then they go off again. And you're like, why are they not just staying? Because they are just testing the waters, feeling the energy, getting triggered. It brings up a lot of stuff for them. They don't know what to do. It's the mind. Again, the mind. And if you are also in that sphere, they will also be in that sphere too. That's why I recommend plant medicine. I really do. It's a fast track. Some of you are scared to do it. But if you are physically healthy, I urge you. We have the Bali retreat. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, embrace when they come in and out, because it's not rejection. It's them mirroring stuff that you need to heal. They're a mirror for your growth. Okay, their presence exposes any internal places where you're stagnating. You know, their spouse holds space for them and for you as well if you or have a spouse. And so have compassion, maintain the integrity. And then the final reason why the spouse is there is to transform resentment into compassion. So any resentment you have, any residual stuff, any anger, because I know some of the, I was there too. I wanted my DM dead. And I've said that many times. I wanted him dead. I was like, that boy got to get off the earth. And that was my lifetimes of anger. And some of you would be like, oh my God, how could you think that? Horrified. But I had a lot of anger, you could say. So I know some DFs also have a lot of anger and they do a lot of the blame thing, but you need to turn that through alchemization into compassion. So it helps you to look within, find peace, and find that, you know, that peace within, that love within. That's your soul assignment. So yeah, the spouse will also mirror where you are not evolving. So there's lots of different reasons. So they're actually your best friend here. So it's not about competition, it's about clarity. The spouse is not in the way. They are part of the plan. They are part of the journey. So what do you do about it? What can you do? Let's get practical. So you've met your twin. Either you or them are married. What do you do? The emotions are overwhelming. You're very triggered. Sometimes you want to like ignore it. Some of you don't want to accept it. Some of you years, months, decades, lifetimes of just running away. Not want to face the shadow. And that's the reason why people don't want to do plant medicine sometimes, because they're horrified or freaked out or worried what they will find behind the closet, the skeletons. You have to befriend them. You have to befriend them. You have to make them into your friends. You have to accept it, okay? So what can you do? Well, you can't really do much with your twin because they have to make their own choice, right? But they usually mirror you. Now, not usually, they do mirror you. Now, if you try to like manipulate your twin or harass them, or like people show up at their work and do all sorts at their house, they will block you. They'll get the police involved. You know what will happen. So you're kind of at loss with controlling them, but you can decide for yourself. And it can be simple if your person that you live with, if you've got a spouse, is very toxic, very violent, aggressive, then you know that you got to leave, because a person who loves themselves does not take that. So then it can be easy, and you'll see your twin often mirrors that quite soon after. Not always though, it could take a while, because there might be other reasons and things that they're working on. It's not always like for like, it's the core issues that are being mirrored. Now, if they are in a relationship and you are not, for example, again, there's not much else you can do. Like, all you can do is work on yourself. And it's a lot of work you got to do, people. And I used to say, when is it going to end? When do you flip the script? And when is it their turn to collapse and crumble? Because they have to, right? You did, and they have to too. And some of you like gasp, like, I don't want him to crumble. If he's a twin flame, you need them to collapse. You need them to. Otherwise, if it's a soulmate, yeah, a lot of that's going on. People pretending that they are with twin flames, but your twin flame's ego must collapse, okay? So you focus on self, growth, and healing. Instead of longing, redirect that energy inward. I know it's easier said than done, all this stuff, I know, but I have done a lot of it. Not in the term of them being married, but with other people and all that stuff, I've done it. So I know it can be done. And someone asked me a question today, oh Manny, do you reminisce and long for your twin still? No, I said, and I said it very directly. I am very busy and I love myself and I'm full. So I don't actually miss or long for him or have time to think about him. I'll leave that to him to do, right? It's not about that. It's about being in a place of wholeness and self-love, okay? So healing that energy inward, and you got to do a lot of work. And some of you are very lazy. Some of you are not. So I don't want to be nasty, but some of you are, and you have to do the work. And it's a lot of work. To become an ascended master, it is a lot of work. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been relentless in the work. But it pays dividends. You get the results. So ask yourself, what is this connection showing about me, about myself? Where am I still seeking outside of myself that I need to give to myself? Redirect the energy inward. You'll feel better in the long run. You know, do the inner self healing work, the inner child work. You can book a session with me. I've got the retreat. I've got the online course. There's so many different avenues. There's all the videos. I've got a healing playlist. For God's sakes, there's no excuse. Okay. And then Number 2, you can cultivate again self-love and fulfillment. The twin flame journey is asking you to become whole within yourself so you don't cling or chase or interfere with others. And then number 3 is you've got to respect what is going on. You've got to accept and respect the spouse, your spouse, whatever's going on, it has to be accepted and a part of the whole plan. Okay? The spouse is not the obstacle. They are a sacred soul playing an agreed upon role in that story, whether it's your spouse or their spouse. And you have to basically finish that karma, finish that story until you're done with it. Again, it comes back to emptying your cup. I've talked about it a lot. If you're new to the channel, watch the videos and the playlists and the posts. But you have to empty yourself of your distortion. You know, the twin flame journey, it forces you to purge lifetimes of stuff. And eventually your twin will tire of whatever they're doing and you will too. So the presence of the spouse gives your twin and you the container to learn, heal, and evolve. To dishonor this is to dishonor the divine order. So they are playing an agreed upon role in the story. Then number 4 is non-interference and karma. Trying to break up a marriage or force the outcome creates karmic entanglements. It blocks rather than accelerates the union. The twin flame journey is a path of surrender, not control. And you will learn, if you're not already doing it, I'm sure some of you are, as you surrender, your twin flames journey accelerates. They get better, quicker, faster. As you control it, then they resist. Because it's like a rope you are holding, and as you let go of it, then it lets go of the resistance for them to change. And then that leads to surrender and divine timing. Surrender is also acceptance, accepting all that is. So union may not be in this lifetime, and that might trigger the hell out of some of you who love to do your law of assumptions and all that stuff and want to be from your mind and focus it this way. It don't work. It don't work. And the law of attraction also don't work on a specific person. It doesn't. It's about how you want to feel within. Yes, you can do the journaling, and yes, you can do the meditations and the mantras, but then release it and surrender. Because, I've done all of that, okay? And there were times where I was actively, like I said, wishing dead upon my twin, but also like not letting go of where he was at and what he was doing, and he was doing a lot. And then he changed. Not because I changed the script of what I was saying in my internal dialogue, it's because I did the work and it changed. Because it will happen anyway. It will change. So it is more about just surrendering it. And even surrendering when you are in anger and pain and you hate them and you want them dead, or you think about this, or you call them this and that, whatever the things you've got to say about them or yourself or whatever's, you gotta go through it all and then be okay with it and not resist it. Stay in balance, okay? Because if you are pushing against it, it will be more pushing back. But if you're just okay with it and you accept it, this is what is right now, it's what is right now, it will change. I guarantee and promise you that. So yes, it does hurt. And it's okay, because union may not be in this lifetime, And we have to be okay with that. What is this constant addiction that I must have this person, And I said a few lives ago, I'm okay with being by myself, being with a soulmate, or being with a twin. It's okay. I don't sit here obsessing about my twin. I have things to do. I have life to do. I'm very busy. And I assume that's the same for you lot, that you're busy doing your purpose and your mission. So your mission is growth, not attachment to the outcome. If the connection is true, it will never fade. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. It is pain, but the pain is alchemy. It burns away the ego, dissolves illusions, and reshapes you into a vessel of unconditional love. So you must surrender even the idea of union. And for some of you, that freaks the hell out of you. And then some of you will be like, what's the point of me doing all this and all that? I've heard it all. I've heard all the distortions. Well, the point of doing it is for yourself. So you're not in misery. You're not in obsession. So you can heal yourself, then others, your lineage, do your purpose, be in your power, live a life of your dreams, But we have to learn to surrender, even the union. Okay? So, 0 point. Very important. If you don't know what that is, there's loads of stuff I've done about that. You can watch that. Again, I'm going to reiterate, don't focus on the spouse or the karmic, because it will just make it more painful. And if you get inspired to act, then you must take the decision. Some do get divorced, some do move forward, and some don't. You know, some are constantly being told by the divine, you need to divorce, or you need to leave, or you need to do this, and staying in loops and stuck in those patterns and getting abused. It's not good. And yes, your spouse energetically may get jealous, and if they find out about your twin, they might also, and so would theirs maybe, and insecure. But sometimes they start competing and trying to get better, and your relationship or your twins might improve slightly, you know, and that can happen. Be open, not in the mind. Allow it to work out as it's meant to. You know, the law of assumption and attraction and stuff won't work here. I don't think it will work. It's beyond that. All right. So what practices can you do? So to anchor yourself, I always say self-love is very important with your inner child. Work through all those wounds that are being triggered where you're looking outside and being obsessed. Then obviously do your purpose. If you want to go further, do the plant medicine because it takes you to the next level. But meditation, to be still. I like the self-love inner child meditation. You can journal. Journaling is good if you like it, right? Where any thoughts that are coming in your mind, you put it down and then you look at where it comes from, you know, the opposite, and try to figure out what it's teaching you. I have aha moments all the time in the shower, all the time. And also face the darkness. Don't be afraid of it, you know. Like if there's things that you went through or they went through or things that are challenging, maybe take some time and sit, write or think about it, and don't avoid it. Face the pain. And also be grateful for this journey and what's being taught to you, okay? The appreciation. If you're still in anger or, oh my God, I would never wish this upon anyone, you're not in that place of ascension or even ready for union. But when you get to a place where you are in bliss and peace and love and light and abundance, then you'll be okay. So today when I was just driving back from the gym, I'm just in my alternate dimension of reality of fairy tale land. Unicorns and rainbows. That's where I live now. You know, I always say like, oh, this journey is not unicorns and rainbows. Eventually it does become. I believe so. All right. So have compassion because it's not easy. So if you do these consistently, you will notice a shift. Your obsession will soften again, like I said, into peace. Your jealousy will become understanding and your despair into strength. Now, sometimes people don't understand it from their mind and they're really annoyed and why this and why that. They stay in their ego, and I have some of those DFs who are just angry. But with inner work and deep self-reflection, you'll understand. Now, some of you got work to do, you know, got work to do. Some of you don't. I know some DFs who are on next level. Right, so let's close before I do the questions, and then I'll talk about Bali retreat as well. So it is the blood moon tonight and tomorrow, so be gentle on yourself. So in conclusion, why do twin flames show up when you're married? Because your soul has decided this. It's ready to evolve. It's all divinely orchestrated. There's no mistakes. What role does the spouse play? They are not the enemy. They are part of the soul contract to help you in the divine design. What should you do? Grow, do your inner work, respect the boundaries, trust and surrender, and embody love without having attachments. And whether your twin is in marriage or not, we all have to have non-attachment. The truth is this, and it may trigger you. Union may happen, it may not. And we have to be okay with that. The purpose of the journey is not just about romance, actually. It's not about romance. It's about awakening. And whatever is written in your soul contract cannot be taken away. So that was that. And then I'm going to talk about Bali retreat, and then we'll take questions, okay? And I hope you are okay. So Basundarai retreat in Bali is the 23rd to the 29th of January 2026. A lot of interest. Just waiting for deposits now. Get them in as soon as you can. Now, if you want to take your journey on another level, if you've been struggling for so long and you're not getting to the root of it, and you want to be in a place of peace, you want to see change happen in your twin, in you, come to Bali. Bali is on ley lines, which are so powerful for Earth, okay? And it's unconditional love that you will gain from it. It's a very spiritual place on Earth. So we're going to be doing an Ubud, Bali, which is very spiritual. It's a retreat for twin flames, and it's for 7 days. And there's a lot of stuff included. It's amazing. So we're going to get an exclusive entire resort, and I've put the pictures up and videos every day so you can see it's a beautiful place. Pick up and drop off from Bali, full support by our team. There's 11 unique rooms. You can come as your own room, or someone wants to bring their twin, which is great, you can, or you can bring a friend, or we can pair you up with someone if you want to have a cheaper deal. We have the yoga shala with all the blocks and stuff and all the things we need. We've got the sauna, refreshing ice bath, daily breakfast, healthy stuff, snacks. You get organic lunch and dinner. You get Balinese snacks, homemade cookies, seasonal fruits, coffee, tea, and you have Balinese coffee in your rooms and a coffee machine in the common area. You'll get various massages. You'll get a 15-minute head and shoulder and foot massage, 60-minute Balinese massage. We're going to have a welcome ceremony by a Balinese priest with offerings. We're going to have a tour of Bali as well. So 10 hours of seeing Bali. So you get to experience the land, going to a temple, doing a water purification ceremony, going to the rice terrace, the monkey forest, and plantations. And then also you get various coaching with me before, during, and after to help you. But not only that, then we also have yoga and meditation. But the main thing is the plant medicine with a very amazing shaman I've worked with for a while. And we will be doing cacao ceremony, rapé, sananga, mushrooms, and mapachu. And they're like entry level. Apart from the mushrooms, a lot of them are quite soft. So if you are scared, don't be. But the mushrooms, you can take a microdose, but we can also give you the dose that is required, which the shaman speaks to spirit. And then I also have trip stoppers. So if it's too much, you take that medicine, it's a herbal medicine or whatever it is, and it stops the journey, so you come back to normal. So that's fine. And the medicine is also very powerful. It will know how far it needs to take you to clear out stuff. So cacao is where you drink raw cacao, basically. We heat it up, and it can be slightly hallucinogenic, but it's beautiful. Rapé is a tobacco that you we blow in your nose, clears you too, and sananga you put in the eyes. There's various things. Mapachu for forgiving if you've got issues with not letting go, really helped me. We can discuss this. So if you want a discovery call, we can talk about it. But there's loads of different things. The investment is $2,500 if you're having your own room. Again, like I said, if you want to share a room, we can talk about that and you'll get a little bit of money off. But that's that, There's so much out there for you. You shouldn't have to suffer, Right, let's see if there's any questions and then we shall call it a day. How is everyone doing? Is everyone enjoying the energies or are you struggling? Carolina, I'm the chaser and I'm married. Bless you. So I think after all that we've discussed, if there's any questions from that, then we can talk about that. Marrying a twin flame is good or bad? Well, I think marrying your ideal divine partner is the most beautiful thing in the world, no? Once you're at that stage of healing. What if mine doesn't recognize me? The DMs, for example, will say a lot of nonsense. They know. They know. And you know too. I'm the chaser and he's in a relationship, even if he's with me since 3.5 years, even if he's with me. I don't know what that means. So you're a chaser and he's with someone else, but he's with you too? That doesn't make sense. He's in two places at the same time? Elaborate. Mine was when we met 7 years ago. Now he is divorced, but running for 2 years. Okay, so at least he's working on himself with the divorce. Takes time. Keep doing your work. Keep going deeper. They do change. I've been having weird dreams since a week. Yes, the dreams have kind of elevated a little bit. And do you want to talk about more what's going on? So normally I have quite romantic dreams with my twin, but I had 2 sexual, not nice ones recently, like as in not sexual with me. Okay. How can a person enter into spirituality? Well, you already are you are spiritual anyway, aren't you? Because you're a spiritual being. Just connect with with yourself, with the divine. Go in nature. There's so many different ways you can do it. You can dance, you can sing, music. There's so many ways to connect with the divine. All right. My DM recognizes me after the first separation. During making love, he started telling me I love you a few times. Again, separation. This was 2 years ago. Most sacred night. It is sacred. So I'm hoping you're doing the work. especially if you've slept with them. Usually you're awakened fully. Not always. The Kundalini might take time, but sometimes it does. Feel like you're talking about me. All right. I start worrying about him. There's no point to chase or wonder because it's just tiring, frustrating, and exhausting. That's right. All right. Exactly. That's how I say. Is God talking to me through you? Maybe. If I divorce, it means I have to go to my country, and I don't want to. If my twin comes, I don't need to go to my country. So, Carolina, you again are using men. And I'm going to be very blunt. You're using men to resolve your living situation, which is manipulation. And you're not trusting in God. There are many ways in which to get your visa and paperwork sorted that does not rely on being married to a man. If that triggers you, I'm glad. Okay, I hate my twin flame. Well, you need to heal that. Please save this life. It's always saved. Okay. In the beginning, I did so many lives, which I didn't save, unfortunately. I used to do them on TikTok, and I didn't save them. Suspended continuum theory. I don't know what that means. Okay. I've never been a colonizer. You never know. I think I was a British colonizer in a past life. I don't know. Maybe I was. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, I know he loves me. He says he's stuck with his karmic even if he doesn't want. Well, he's resolving that stuff. Keep going deeper. And I don't know if you're with someone or not, but keep doing your work. It will resolve. It will resolve. So the twin flame is not a soulmate. No, it's not. They're different things. Can my twin flame have a long, happy marriage after our breakup, or does it mean he was never my twin flame and I'm just the one who couldn't get over him for 20 years? I'm married too now, but I love him. No, I mean, they could meet a soulmate, but usually it's the DF that meets a soulmate, right? They usually meet a karmic. And they will say it's happy and talk a lot of nonsense, but they will still be thinking about, if it's a twin flame, they will still think about you. And it depends on how awakened. But if you are aware of the connection, deep down somewhere they are too. They try to act like they're not, you know? It's like, especially if you've been with them and you've been intimate or you've been fully awakened, either in the astral realm or whatever, then you will fully know and then they will know too. But sometimes like the DFs don't even know, or it's very subtle. So the DMs, it will be even more subtle until they awaken and have their satori. But they could meet a soulmate, but they'll still think about you. As soon as they see you or hear you, they've been activated. They actually have been activated. They can't. The gong has been struck. All right. What else? Anything else? When my DM felt rejected, why his ego become more? Oh, it's a good one. I'm going to do a post about that maybe tomorrow. It's a good one, actually. I've talked about it before, but in a different way. And tomorrow, the one I'm going to do this week, the post is really good. But I talked about it before when the DM seeks revenge, right? And people were like, no, he'd never seek revenge. Oh, soulmate, whatever. But twin flame can seek revenge, okay? So when the DF starts bringing her energy back and starts working on healing and not obsessing and living a good life and smiling, laughing, being out and about, traveling, I'm talking all this from experience, okay? Because I do all those things. Then the DM can get really jealous because they want their ego, not their truth, not their soul, wants you to be obsessed on them, wants you sitting at home praying their name, wearing shawls on the floor, doing TikTok videos saying, my twin flame, my twin flame, my twin flame. And as soon as you start living your life and traveling and being happy and joyful and not obsessing, they miss that supply. Then they get the narcissistic collapse and their ego gets really, really triggered. They want to take revenge on you, actually. Their ego can get bigger and they feel rejected. It's the ego. I'll do a post about it this week. You'll read it. It's really good. Okay. He loves me, but is karmic as well. He can't let go, either one of us, and it hurts. So, Lena, I think you might benefit. I don't know if you've watched the entire live from the beginning. So, you know, he's saying you should watch the live from the beginning, but he's saying that he loves the karmic. It's not true love. It's surface level. I did a post about it today, but they will say all sorts of things, right? But they don't truly love them. It's just, I did a post the other day about why your twin flame chooses another or something like that a few days ago, why they're with someone else. Read that post. It's all to do with safety and security and ego. The truth of it's not the truth. I've said it before, 90% of the things that come out of the DM's mouth, I will not even listen to it. Only listen to the truth. So what you can do is listen to the truth within you and keep loving yourself and keep ascending. And then there comes a tipping point. I'll tell you something. So I remember being in Barcelona like 2 years ago, was it? And oh my God, my DM was doing such crazy stuff. And I was like, I want to break his ego. And I just kept having that vision of like, you know, when someone is standing there and then the other person, which is me, so that's my twin, will come in like and go whoosh, like with my legs go whoosh, and make sure he collapses. And I just went, I want to see his downfall because I was sick of this shit. But the more inner work you do, their life collapses. And they don't even realize it's because of your inner work. But you don't want them, maybe you don't even want them to know that because they'll blame you. But as you do your inner work, their life does collapse. The life that is not true, that's not good for them, collapses, okay? So you can do is your inner work. Go all in, do your purpose, do everything, right? I mean, I try to live as an example here. You all know how much I've spent on inner work. You all know I've been in every corner of the world. I've had all the coaches and all this and that. I've done all the things, you know. I've spent a lot. I've been with Regita Shaman, all the other different people. I've been with all of them. And I've tried it all out. The good, the bad, and the ugly, all of them. Tried them all out. Learned a lot. And here we are. Results you get. Results you do get. Yes, I came in late, but thank you. I thought you had. So I think you should watch it from the beginning because we already talked about it. Karmics don't trigger, so DMs are not threatened. Well, they do slowly chip away at them, but you are the ultimate mirror, so you're very, very scary for their ego. Karmics slowly strangle them. Let's give the analogy. So you know when you put like, is it crabs? I think it's crabs. Put crabs in water and you slowly boil it. They don't realize they're getting killed. That's how it is with a karmic. Whereas you are the boiling water from the beginning. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. And are they comfortable with karmics because they don't have to grow? Yes, but they do grow though. It's a slower strangulation, but they do grow. Okay, with that we're gonna end the live. So what to do is surrender and love yourself and do your healing, your inner work. We have the Bali retreat. We welcome you. We would love to have you there, and we will take care of you. Okay? All the best, all the good vibes from me to you. Take care. God bless you. Bye.